So, it's been a little while, huh? May came and went, and I didn't upload a recap video. Why is that? Well, the quick and easy answer is that I was busy breaking the new Zelda. But that's not the only reason I was gone. I'll get into the details later. So for now, welcome back to my challenge to catch every shiny Pokemon possible. Quick recap for anyone new. Every shiny must be caught in the wild, no evolving or hatching unless it's impossible to obtain otherwise. You can find more specific details in the month 1 video. We've got a bit to go over, including some not very fun events, so let's dive right in. Starting with day 66, I kept up with the hunt for Amora like usual. I end up coming back to this hunt pretty often, mostly because it's easy to engage with something else while I'm doing it. It keeps me from getting bored. It continues this way for the next few days, going along at a decent pace. Days 68 and 70 have notes for the encounters I did that day, but for some reason, their video files are just completely missing. No idea what happened to them, but thankfully, that seems to be the only missing footage so far. As for day 69, yeah, I just didn't open Pokemon, sorry. Day 72, I shook things up again and jumped over to Violet for a Weasel outbreak. Ended up being a pretty relaxing hour-long hunt. I was on call with a friend to pass the time, and the Weasel stood out against the water enough that I didn't have to look very hard. A little over 1,000 encounters later, she finally appeared. I found it! I found the shiny Weasel. Come here. 1,214. Let's see, can I hit this thing without killing it? I did just save. I probably will kill it, I'm like 7 levels above it. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, I'll just hit luck. That should not kill. Yeah, there we go, Ultra Ball caught it. Now I gotta come up with a nickname for it. I'm giving up on nicknaming it Banana. Banana the Shiny Weasel, our 7th shiny. Like usual for Outbreak shinies, the odds were 1 in 1,365. This would end up being the last day of hunting I did before Tears of the Kingdom released, so you know what that means! Yeah, I got pretty hooked on the game for a while. Day 87, I finally came back to shiny hunting again, and did a few hundred more Amora encounters with no luck. Unfortunately, there'd be another 2-week gap before I do any hunting again, and this time it wouldn't be because of a new game. The first few days after day 87 were pretty standard. I did some recording for another video, and at this point, I realized that if I made a video for May alone, there'd be basically nothing in it. I made posts saying that May and June would be combined into one video, and made plans to work as much as I could to make up for the lack of content. Now, I live in a little place called Nova Scotia, and around the same time as this, massive fires broke loose. One of these was uncomfortably close to where I lived, and so understandably, I wasn't exactly interested in hunting alternate colored digital creatures. The fire eventually started heading towards our street, and we were evacuated. I spent about a week holed up in an RV camper with my family, sitting and hoping that they'd get the fire under control. That week was incredibly stressful, not knowing if I still even had a home. I ended up getting home on June 5th, and fortunately, nothing happened to us. I took another day to get calmed down now that things were safe again, and came back to hunting Amora on day 100. It continued like that for about another week, grinding away for Amora. Turns out being mentally exhausted makes you not want to do anything requiring a lot of focus. Day 108, I felt like doing more involved hunts again, so I loaded up Violet and did a Palmo outbreak. I think I might have pushed myself a little bit too much, because looking back, I look incredibly done with everything. But I ended up finding it eventually.
Oh my god! Oh my
What?
god!
You get a shiny.
Yippee! I did get it.
Which one?
Pomo.
You should name it Marshmallow.
If I can catch it. I don't know what I can use to attack this thing without killing it. I'm just gonna throw an Ultra Ball and hope it works.
Just throw an Ultra Ball, it'll work.
Yeah, just throw an Ultra Ball over.
Thanks, it worked.
Yeah, no problem.
You wanted it named Marshmallow?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Marshmallow the Shiny Palmo, Shiny number 8. Outbreak Shiny, 1 in 1,365, you know the drill. I jump back into another outbreak on day 111, this time for Frostlass. I went through around 1,000 encounters or so before I called it quits for the day. No shiny to show. The same deal happened on day 112. I started an outbreak for Magikarp, went through 400-ish encounters, grew tired, and moved on for the day. Day 114, June 21st. There was a Nintendo Direct today, and one of the first things they ended up showing was footage of the DLC areas. So that was neat. They also announced a raid event for Shiny Gimmighoul. This event honestly sucked. My biggest issue with it was the FOMO aspect. This event was available for 10 days, and your chance of finding the shiny was full odds. If you weren't actively hunting it constantly, you were losing time for a chance to get it. For an example, Absol, a pretty well-known creator in the shiny hunting community, used a bot to find a shiny Gimmighoul den for him. Based on the amount of times the bot date skipped to renew the dens, he estimated it would have taken him 167 hours of playing to find this normally. That is exactly 1 hour short of an entire week straight of shiny hunting. No sleep, no breaks. That is absurd for such a short event. If you wanted this shiny, you needed insane luck or to literally give up your life for a week to even have a chance of getting it. I don't think that's a fair distribution for what's otherwise an impossible shiny. Now, how did I go about handling this? Because of the sudden announcement and grind, I opted to use my main profile instead of the shiny hunting one I've been using. If I had stuck with the shiny hunting profile, I would have had to basically speedrun the post-game to find 5-star raids reliably, as well as very quickly put together Pokemon to actually do the raids. The odds were stacked against me enough as is, so main file it is. I also chose to count any shinies I found on my main file during this time for the challenge. This event took from my usual hunting, so I may as well take any shinies I find during this. The only thing I wasn't really happy with was the fact that this file has the shiny charm, whereas my shiny hunting file doesn't. The charm isn't banned by my rules, it's just I haven't put the time into getting it yet. The last big thing I chose to do was that if I couldn't get my own shiny Gimmighoul raid by the time the event was over, I would just search online for someone hosting theirs. I already had plans before they announced this event, so I couldn't dedicate as much time as I wanted to hunting this. Other than that, I took off and started hunting as soon as I could. The first day of this, I ended with 103 dens checked. The second day, I was up to 150 dens checked. A lot less, but I ended up with something by the end of that day. What the actual f***? That's a shiny Orthworm! I was gonna run past that thing. I didn't think it. Well, I thought it just was like, oh, it's just the lighting on it. It's silver. But no, that's a f***ing shiny. God damn it! Oh my god! I don't have anything to weaken this. I kind of just have to spam the Pokeballs here and hope. There it goes. What am I nicknaming this thing? Or just Oops? Oops the Orthworm. Oops the Shiny Orthworm, my favorite accidental shiny so far. Given I had the shiny charm, the odds of finding him were 1 in 1,365. The third day went pretty well. I streamed my attempts for a few hours, and hit 260 total dens checked. Nothing else to note. The fourth day would be the last day I had the time to try and hunt this thing before the event ended, and I ended the day at 340 dens checked, with no shiny Gimmighoul to my name. On day 123, I sat down for about an hour and found someone hosting a shiny den, and grabbed my 2 shiny Gimmighouls that way. These guys don't deserve a proper highlight, they just feel disappointing. I nicknamed the Gimmighoul Thanks a Lot, and the one I evolved into a Golden Go Pokémon Company, so that when I'd look at them after they've been put in the Pokémon home, I'd have a reminder of how frustrating this event was. So that was the past 2 months. I hit 17,150 total encounters, got another 3 shinies, and lost my sanity. Gimmighoul and Golden Go are going to sit off to the side for the time being and be excluded from the count, given their less than ideal origins. I can't say I'm thrilled with how much I accomplished, even with the circumstances. I think I'm going to take this next month off from shiny hunting. With all that's happened, I'm feeling more and more burnt out, and I'd like to experiment with some other videos for the next little while. I may or may not stream more on my Twitch during this time, we'll see about that. I'd also say to follow the Twitter account for updates, but there's a good chance that account's going to end up moved to another platform in the near future. Otherwise, that's all from me for today. I'll see you here next time, hopefully with a certain video I promised last month. Take care.